everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now, in today's video, it's going to be quite a special day, because today is the day we're going to start stripping down and cleaning the intake manifold. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because we've got another intake manifold to go on that I've obviously refurbished, resprayed, and cleaned out and things like that. But also, we've got all brand new gaskets to go on. We've got a brand new PCV valve, intake manifold gasket, idle control valve gaskets. We've got everything we need. Now, also another main reason I'm removing this intake manifold is just to get the engine bay looking a little bit more presentable, because underneath it's disgusting. I don't know what lurks underneath the manifold either. What bodges have been done in the past. There's many things that they'll be getting checked when removing this manifold, so it'll be a great opportunity to check everything over and make sure there's no nasty hidden surprises, things like that. So this will be quite an involved job. I'm quite looking forward to it, actually, because we actually haven't done a job like this in a while. I know there's been a kind of lack of content on the Subaru for a while, so so this will be a two-part video. So in today's video, we're also going to be stripping down the top half of the engine. So we'll remove the intake manifold, we'll get it off, put it to one side, and underneath then we'll inspect and clean all underneath the intake manifold, and obviously fix and just check everything's okay. And then probably the part 2 video, we will be swapping everything over from the old intake manifold onto the new one. So things like obviously the throttle body, fuel injectors, fuel rail, all that kind of stuff. Honestly, like out of control valve, blah blah, all that stuff really. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to today's video. Quite a lot to be done, so I'll do my best to show you what I'm doing as I go along. Because as far as I'm aware, I haven't really seen any kind of videos on YouTube of people removing these manifolds. So yeah, I think mine might be at first, I don't know. But like I said, I'll show you what I'm doing as I go along. I'll do my best. But without further ado, let's get down to stripping down this intake manifold. Right, so as I said, first thing I'll remove is just anything on top of the engine, so like vacuum lines, and all the kind of plugs and things like that. So like I said, I've got the camera set up here. I'll try and tell you what I'm doing as I go along, so let's crack on. Right, fair. Just from kind of just starting this job, right, I kind of realised that a lot of it's quite tedious stuff. So what I'll do is I'll kind of get through all the boring stuff, like unclipping things, and really I'll get past all the boring stuff, and I'll bring back the camera when we're kind of halfway through, and maybe better stuff's happening. So, but like I said, it's just a simple case of unplugging plugs from things like the throttle body, idle control valve, fuel injectors, and things like that. But there's a lot of really tedious stuff, like brackets holding stuff on, things like that. I don't want to bore you guys with that, so like I said, I'll remove all that boring stuff and I'll bring back the camera when we're pretty much ready to take the intake manifold off. So, like I said, I'll see you guys in a minute. I think we're ready to take the intake manifold off. Now, like I said, I've never done this before on a Subaru, so there might be some things that I've maybe missed to remove. So only time will tell. I've got all the bolts out the intake manifold. They're pretty grubby, I'll show you them in a minute, so they'll need a good clean up before I put them back on with the new manifold. But yeah, there might be more things I need to remove, but we'll take things as they come. But for now, we'll try and kind of just free up the manifold and see what to work with. So let's just crack on and get this done now. Right guys, a wee recap. I'm off to a little bit more than I thought I'd have to do. Now, even after removing that pipe and various other bits and bobs, I still couldn't get the intake manifold to like kind of, on this side, it's coming up fine, but the other side it's not. There's still something still stopping it. So, basically what the problem is, the fuel rail is kind of not clearing the power steering pipes. So, I'm having to remove the fuel rail from, obviously the opposite side of the engine, just so once that's off, it should come off fine. It's not hard, so if you're doing this yourself, the fuel rail is held on by I think it's 40mm bolts, I think. The fuel rail is held on by two 12mm bolts in the middle of the fuel rail. Then at both sides, both opposite ends of the fuel rail, you've got obviously your fuel lines, which are held on by I think it's 8mm bolts. So it's very easy if you're doing this yourself. So I'm quickly whip off that fuel rail. I'll show you me doing it. Then hopefully that'll be it, and we can get to taking the manifold off. So, let's get stuck in. Yeah, there's a lot of petrol. Right. Honestly guys, what a joke. Fucking Jesus. So yeah, as you'd expect, I've had to take more shit off than I wanted to do. But I mean, a lot of you are probably laughing right now because there's probably a lot of you watching this that like my Subaru and probably have worked on these things before and know a lot about them and, are laughing at all my mistakes. But the thing is, I've never done this before, so it's like a bit of a learning process for me. But, so what I've just done is, I've removed the power steering pump to one side, because there's just no way in God's earth, right, it was cleaning with that on. So I'll kind of show you what I've done now, and then this, honest to God, right, it should be the last thing to come off. So, let me show you what I've done. Right, so yeah, as you can see, I've kind of unbolted the power steering pump, it's to one side. I haven't disconnected the lines, because that's a joke. But yeah, as you can see now, so we should have plenty of room now to get that up now. So, take 4, let's get it off. Oh, that was a joke. Honestly, man, that was an absolute joke. God, there's so much pipes and shit. I mean, Jesus Christ. Right, that is the intake manifold off, as you can see. Now, I've kind of put everything to one side, like the wiring loom and like all the kind of breather pipes. They're all on the floor there. I'll probably clean them last. So basically, when I'm going back to reassemble this with the new manifold, I'll clean them up as well, make sure all that's immaculate, and pretty much everything that's come off will be going back on very clean and all that kind of good stuff. It's going to take a lot of work to get this clean, as you can see. It is very, very dirty. It's really not nice. So all I've got with me is lots of brake cleaner. I've got like, what was it, like kind of WD-40 stuff, but I've got plenty of brake cleaner and wire brushes, things like that. So that should be enough to get this like reasonably clean, because it is really bad. Now, also, it's really important, if you're doing this yourself, put cloths, like stuff them right down inside the intake ports, just so you don't get anything down there, like tools or any like. So yeah, make sure you like put something in there so nothing gets in there. So, with that being said, let's crack on. Right guys, as you can see we're slowly getting there. Now, this is a disgusting job, by the way. Like, I'm filthy. Like, you see my top now, I'm absolutely disgusting. But we are slowly getting there. That said, I'm not finished yet. I'm far from finished, but yeah, I'm slowly getting there. It's just a matter of scrubbing, 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 and then more scrubbing, and then after that, more scrubbing. So I'm just using brake cleaner wipe, just using like G101 cleaner. Literally just anything I've got to get rid of all the grime, all the crap you get like in there, things like that. Gonna get rid of all that. So here looks okay. You know, it may not be perfect when it's done, but one thing I'm gonna make sure is that it's clean. So that's what I'm gonna do. Now, I'm not gonna bore you, I'm not gonna film me cleaning this, because basically you know what I'm doing. I'm using brake cleaner, G101, cloths, wire brushes, and things like that. So, with that being said, I'll back with the camera when all this is clean, and then we'll just take it from there, really. So, I'll see you guys when I'm done. Right, that's us basically done for today, because obviously off camera I've been spending like over an hour just cleaning that alone. So I'm going to quickly show you what it's like now, and basically where we're going to take this video from, because I'm going to wrap this video up very shortly. I'm going to show you how far I've got, and basically what the next steps are, and probably what you'll see in the next video. So let me show you how far we got. Right, so I've cleaned this as good as I can get. Obviously, before I put the intake manifold on, I might give it another quick clean. But for now, this is as good as I can get it. I mean, it's incredibly difficult because there's so much little kind of like bits like that, you know, bits where like crap builds up, and it's really difficult to get like, you know, a cloth in there and things like that. It's a very time-consuming job to clean all this. I thought you kind of tidy up this bit a little bit more, but I mean, I can do that off camera before I put the intake manifold on. And so that's basically the top end. That is basically the top of the engine, ready to receive the new intake manifold. Now, the only things, so basically what you'll probably see in the next video is we'll be disassembling the old intake manifold, like obviously swapping over all the like fuel lines, literally everything, the fuel rails, inject, all that stuff. There's honestly, there's an off camera, all the boring stuff, like, because I still need to clean like the power steering pump because it's got grime on it. I still need to kind of like tidy up the fuel rails so they're nice and clean. Things like that I'm going to do off camera because honestly it's boring, it's tedious, and I absolutely hate it. But like I said, the next video should be a lot better. But regardless, I hope you enjoyed today's video, because I mean, I understand that a lot of people love, you know, like seeing me work on the Subaru and things like that, and I haven't done a video like this in a while. So I mean, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then smash that thumbs up button. And I hope you look forward to the next video, because I can assure you it's going to be a much better video than this one. This video is just consisted of just boring stuff like taking things off and cleaning them, all that boring stuff. But anyway, nothing waffling. I'll see you guys in the next video.